Hello, good afternoon, good evening, good night, good morning, good day to all the TBC members globally. I am Casper Deadmine from Medellin, Papua New Guinea. This is another series of my TBC 24/7 live broadcast. My fellow TBCans, it is the great opportunity that TBC admin has given us this great opportunity through our TBC Pringle Private Society. TBC admin has been very privileged, very kind, has put in great effort and hard work to create our TBC Pringle Private Society. And it has given us the great opportunity. TBC is the solution to complete slavery. We are all aware that the current financial system will come to an end, and the elites that have enslaved all the masses on this planet Earth is trying all its efforts using its resources to try to establish a system that they will completely enslave the humankind. So TBC has given us this opportunity to free us from this enslavement of creating a complete slavery system. We all need to stand together to promote the growth of our TBC Pringle Private Society. So that we need to get a lot of people into this community to one day reach our ultimate goal of having 1 billion registered and qualified TBC members so that we can be able to resist and stop the current plan by the rich elites to completely enslave the humankind. I will take this great opportunity to say one of the blogs put on by the TBC admin, making us alert and aware and having knowledge of what is yet to come, what is yet to be put up by the rich elites towards the complete slavery on the humankind. This blog poster article put on by the TBC admin today, February 6, 2019. Why a one world government need world order is a very bad idea for humanity. As you can see this poster, this is the current system we are under currently. We have the financial elites right at the top. People and the planet and all living things are right underneath this triangular shaped structure. Right at the bottom of this triangular structure, we have people, planet, and all living things, always supplying the world resources up to the financial elites. And these financial elites, they have complete control. They have the greatest financial power and resources, and they have dominion over the humankind, and they have control on what they're trying to distribute down the line, right to the bottom. Let me continue with the article. The year is 2019, and here we stand at the cusp of great change globally. The financial system known by the previous 5 generations is in its final stages of total collapse. Upon its final breath, humanity could be facing its darkest hour. Some have worked vigorously towards a global financial reset to provide a soft landing within this transition from a completely fiat-based system back to a gold-backed system. Within this brief window of change comes the opportunity for the ruling class elite to firmly establish their new world order of a one world government. This is a warning. This is a warning to all of humanity. The elite must fail now to set up a one world government, because if they succeed, it will be the end of freedom. Most of humanity today has a reasonable amount of freedom, yet the fiat-based system has enslaved humanity to death. That's in large part that were not incurred by the individuals. All of the governments have created vast debts over the last 100 years, and their citizens are expected to carry those debts. So while most of us are free to choose our professions, free to raise a family as we see fit, and free to travel to a certain degree, the burden of these debts weigh down on us and have a very negative impact on our lives. These debts could be the excuse used by the elite to start a global war when the plug is pulled on the entire banking system. What will the people do when all of the banks are closed? How will companies be able to operate without access to the bank? What happens when paper money suddenly becomes worthless? How long can humanity sustain itself in such a dark time? The elite have planned this scenario for a very long time, and they have planned to introduce a one world government as the solution. How would a one world government impact the freedoms you enjoy today? The short answer to that question is that ultimately it would completely destroy your freedom, as you know, to every aspect of your life being controlled by government. A government that puts its own interest above the rights of the individual. Total slavery. Why? Why would a one world government lead to total slavery? The answer is because of nature. The nature of government is force. Governments are run by men, people. So what is the nature of men? Many things have changed over thousands of years, but the nature of man has remained the same. When it comes to men, power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. That sums up the nature of men. The few that rule the world today do so in the shadows, therefore don't have complete and absolute power and control. They have great influence, but that is it. Power is broken and divided between many nations and peoples. There is ongoing conflict between these nations as they each struggle for greater power in the world. This is a necessary friction that allows freedom to survive. The more friction there is, the more freedom exists. Power struggles are very important. A one world government would be the end of the power struggle. We the people outnumber the few ruling class elite by at least 1,000,000 to 1. We do have the power to overcome the elite and their evil plans. Almost 250 years ago, a new kind of freedom was born when the American colonists declared their independence from the Kingdom of Great Britain. These colonists won the Revolutionary War and set up a republic under a constitution. The constitution separated the powers of government into three branches, which allowed friction to occur between these separate branches, as each seeks greater power over the others. Before this kind of government was formed, most governments had total power over its people and ruled with an iron fist. Consider the known history of the last 5,000 years. Why has there been technological advancement and progress for mankind in the last 200 years over the previous 5,000 years? Simple. Freedom. Freedom has allowed mankind to advance in ways that were inconceivable before. When government is busy fighting with itself, it allows the people to enjoy freedom. Constitutional type governments have spread all over the world ever since the American Revolutionary War, and the result has been greater freedom. This is a much better world to live in today compared to 200 years ago and before. A one world government would quickly return humanity to live under an iron fist of tyranny. Freedom would disappear from Earth. We all must resist the deception that is coming that a one world government will solve all of the problems we face today. Yes, the current financial system is collapsing, and there are no guarantees that a global reset will result in a smooth landing for us in this transition. TBC offers an alternative. The faster we build to 1 billion members, the better, because the world is changing fast. An educated billion people working together to spread a message about the truth of abundance on earth with a currency of its own is a real solution. A solution that should lead to even greater freedom. My fellow TBCs, it is a great opportunity that our great TBC admin has put out this poster article on our blog. So we all need to take this Bro, very seriously, and as TBC members, we must stand together in this year 2019 to spread the message of freedom only through TBC. TBC admin has well and fed giving us great opportunity, which is the 2009 promotion. We can use this promotion as a wheel, as a great opportunity to expand our TBC criminal private society growth so that we can reach our ultimate goal of 1 billion verified TBC members, so that we can be able to stand up to stop these evil plans of the rich elites to have in place one world government to take back the freedom from the human mankind. Thank you very much, all the TBC members, TBC leaders. May God bless TBC.